28-year-old Ricardo Borja was parked in front of his Belize City apartment inside a white Nissan pickup truck when a gunman ambushed him. According to police, Borja had just arrived at the apartment along with 23-year-old Jean Reyes.
Based on information gathered during our investigation, one Ricardo Borja drove to his apartment on a road off Coney Drive. This was sometime after 11 p.m. on Friday night. And upon entering the yard and bringing the vehicle to a stop, multiple shots were fired at the vehicle. At the time, Ricardo Borja was in the company of a female who we believe is his girlfriend. She sustained one graze and was treated and released.
Borja was a well-known businessman in Belize City. He owned Phoenix Boutique and also operated a consultancy business. Police are trying to determine whether his murder stems from any of his business dealings.
We're getting several information that are negative towards him in terms of his involvement with different activities, but I am not going to go into details of those. And yes, it could be that it is one of those that may have led to his death. And so we are looking at every possible angle that we can pursue in respect to this matter.
Notwithstanding the unfavorable reports that the Commissioner of Police says investigators are receiving about Borja, his colleagues at the Belize Red Cross tell a different story about him. He had served with the organization for more than a decade.
He was always willing. He was always a dedicated volunteer. Matter of fact, he even said that Red Cross actually helped raise him. He was always here. He started out as a youth volunteer, and he worked his way up until he became a youth leader. He was always active with the youths, and whenever it's time for field work during disasters, he was always there in the field, assisting, doing relief supplies and taking assessments.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Lisa back in November 2020, Borja was among the Red Cross volunteers responsible for the distribution of relief supplies to affected communities.
Part of my teenage life was being part of the Red Cross, being trainings, going to the first aid stop, going to parades, going into the drives, and that was like my life, you know. My friends were and are from the Belize Red Cross volunteers group.
But we also spoke with a close friend of Ricardo Borja and his family, Jacqueline Hernandez. We asked Hernandez if she thinks the speculations of wrongdoing being investigated by the police hold any weight. Here is what Hernandez told us.
At this time, the information that has been passed from the police force to us is very minimal. We know of what had happened, of course, with the shooting. He was fatally wounded. As family and as friends, we know him to be the most loving, outgoing person. In terms of the speculations to address, nothing is confirmed. We know that he was very outgoing, very aggressive businessman, very dedicated businessman, successful in everything that he did. His endeavors were always with cause, with reason, valuable to any business that he encountered and partnered with. So in terms of the speculations, that's all they are. We have no idea as to who would want to do something like that to our friend and family member.
Borja was also the holder of 2-gun license. In 2016, he was accused of criminal fraud. His employer alleged that he dishonestly appropriated $6,000. Given those past accusations, Compol Williams was asked why these gun licenses were issued to him.
He did apply for a gun license, and I can tell you I was the one who approved those gun licenses. He did produce all the requisite documents and proof that he owns a business and was generating funds, and so he would have fallen within the category of those persons. There are many persons who have been accused of committing crime, and they were acquitted, and they do get the gun license.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.